Good morning. Well, hopefully you're having a good morning. Let me turn this viewfinder, upside down so I can see it. How are you doing? Today, yes, the mailman had arrived and ironically I got the book that I ordered from Amazon. That took a little while, but I also got the DVD, which was a surprise because that did arrive really quickly. That actually did come 2-day shipping, which shows me it's possible. So anyway, I was because I don't have any more copper pipe. Cody's been really busy. He hasn't been able to drop off any, but so I made one out of the copper roofing, and since haven't messed with it building gloves since I was doing the pipe stuff, I wanted to mess back around with it because I want to anneal it and see if it made it more easy to work with, and it does. I wish I would have known about the annealing process while I was doing stuff with this, but you live and learn. So made one finger. It's a little bit different design, easier blades. I made it out of that sheet metal that I've been making, so it's got the solder spills and thicker ringlets. Just made them thicker, so. And it works. Articulation is really important. So this is more like the Dream Master glove, I'm calling it. So yeah, it came along a lot more smooth than I anticipated, but I'll roll the clip. Check it out. Okay, so got it cooled down. Different type, just kind of horsing around. Cody has not dropped off more pipe, so I figured I'd try my annealing process on just that sheet metal type gutter material, copper. And so you can see the flux has removed a lot of the patina, but I have the solder spills, just random solder spills on it. Different type of blade. Just this is like a 22 gauge sheet metal blade. Still got some gunk on it. Gotta get that off. So I want to add the red age to it, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so got my red paint right here. What I'll do is I'll just kind of smear it on. I believe it is just the fingertip that has it. This is like again, my kind of take on the Part 4 Dream Master glove. So let's see how this turns out. This is tricky because it takes really light heat. You don't want to heat it up too much because obviously you'll melt the soldering. But see how it just, you want it to kind of burn a little bit. There you go. See that. Try to do the other side here. There. Yep. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of what we want. So the tip looks like, has that reddish. Alright. For the back, I'm just gonna lightly discolor it. Again, I don't want to go too far because of the soldering. I don't want to melt that. Okay, I can see it just barely starting to melt. One of the key things in the glove is on the rear where the stall is attached, is there's this fold, and it's really it's part of the glove in a lot of detail. It really does, you'd be surprised how much it makes it look a lot closer to the actual thing. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do, and hammer it out flat. Nice thing about that is there's already kind of a fold there. Set this nail right there, set that right over it. See it right there. That's what you want. Okay, so I'm gonna add the punch the hole in there. Like I said, my favorite part about this whole project is you really are allowed to pretty much do whatever you feel like doing, unless you're just trying to go for extreme screen accuracy. Okay. Yeah, the hole puncher is a definite must. Okay, so, and of course the blade design is like the one from part 4. So they were skinnier, shorter. They weren't quite as curved. So, and then of course it had this back part here that was bent up. So yeah, I found that annealing this sheet copper started to work out a lot better. Nice overcast day today. Not bad at all. I like it when it's overcast. The day remains cool and not so hot out. It's cold out now. You got a sweater. She has got this bad habit of jumping on people. Yeah. Don't you jump. You've ruined many people's shirts. He's out there somewhere. He's digging around in the dirt. I can hear him. Yeah. I don't know what he does out there at night, but doing something. I actually got a hold of Cody about a couple hours ago, so that was really really neat. And yeah, he's actually really busy, so that's what he's been up to. I told him to shake loose a little bit and come up and hang out. So trying to get him back over here. So, but yeah, that's what happens. He gets caught up in his job is just so, the kind of work he does is brutal. I think it's harsh. It's harsh on the body. I think you can only do that for so long. He's lucky he's young, but I think it's already taken its toll on him. But yeah, anyway, I remember my boss actually telling me because he used to work. The guy I work for at the shop that I work at, he used to do heavy mechanic and all that kind of work. Wound up throwing his back out really good, and that's it. I mean, he pretty much at that point had to choose something else, and he made a really good decision, because now he gets to do what he loves. In a sense, it's kind of like me. I jumped a lot of jobs from jobs, and I never really knew what was going to be a career move for me, and just kind of lucked out and got good at something that I enjoy. So, all right. So, as you already saw, what I pretty much was doing today was messing around with the sheets of copper again. Just still using up that big section that I bought off of the sheet metal place for really cheap. It's this. Grab some of it right here, and which I've annealed this actually. So this is fairly bendable, and wanted to check that out and anneal it. See if this will make it better using it. But yes, it does. It actually changed working with it for sure from my original days of working with this, making the gloves out of this, which I do like this because it's a lot easier to turn out a glove. It's a lot easier to work with than the copper pipe. In the copper pipe, everything is so heavy duty. It takes. But I found that learning about this, and I tell you that the key to working with copper is definitely annealing it, and I can't believe I didn't ever figure that out. As much as I like working with this stuff. Okay, so my book came in today. I got my book, and it's before I show it to you, it's interesting because not a lot of people know just exactly how many movies this guy's worked on. I'm talking about a stuntman, and most of the time stuntmen don't really get all that much known for anything, because usually they're always the guy behind the scenes. They're doing it and somebody else takes credit for it. In a sense, it's just the name of the gig. Now there are some that we obviously always remember, and there's a lot of names out there that are definitely synonymous with stunt work. But for me, this was also interesting because this goes back to me as a child watching horror movies, and on TNT or one of the, I think it was TNT or one of those. Joe Bob Briggs would host Monster Vision or Monster Television or something like that, and that's where I watch a lot of these. And I used to watch that Joe Bob Briggs Monster Night or Monster Vision all the time. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but we're talking about this guy right here. I know you probably can't see it. This book is called Unmasked, and it's about Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder is most known for playing Jason Voorhees in Jason Part 7, which is called Friday the 13th, The New Blood. He played Jason. After that point, he had pretty much done Jason from Part 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. And I know you're thinking, wow, I can't believe there was that many of those. Yes, there were. and I have seen most of them. They're, but now for me, when I first saw Jason, my very first time I ever saw it was part 7, and I remember just seeing that and just saying, whoa, that is so, and I used to get all excited when it would come on because I didn't know what it was either, I just was, but Kane Hodder brought an attitude to the character. He brought that menacing, I mean, because the character doesn't talk, his body language was very important, and Kane Hodder is just a gigantic dude. So I can imagine in costume, up in person, he must just look extremely menacing. But he's done a lot of stunt work, and in movies that I didn't even like, even myself, I didn't know he did, such as Steven Seagal. He's worked with Steven Seagal like 4 times. He's done TV shows, like countless amounts of TV shows, and you're just like, I just didn't know he did all that. What brought him to the spotlight was Friday the 13th. Believe it or not, Jason brought him to the spotlight. Now this guy is just a really well-known. His name is synonymous with Jason. Now he's just kind of known as that. Interesting because Kane Hodder, in the beginning of his stunt career, was severely burned. He was burned really bad, and he almost died. He's pretty scarred up from it, and this is the first time really he has opened up and talked about it in this book. I am dying to read it because I really would like to know, because he's never really talked about it. It's something that he has. It's probably really deep for him to talk about it, and just by judging by the way he looks, the damage that has been done to him, it had to have been really bad. It really had to have been. We're just lucky that he didn't die from it. I mean, that's just a horrible way for anybody to suffer. Burn victims, man, that's horrible. I can't imagine what they've gone through. So anyway, I'm gonna close it out and get out of here, you guys. Upload this vlog, but pretty much for the most part, I was messing around with that copper and just built that little finger to that glove to see how it turns out. So yeah, hopefully it turns out good, and look forward to messing around with that stuff until Cody can drop off some more materials. I'll see you guys later.